So guess what I came across?
What?
I came across a post of yours way back when,
Mm-hmm.
2011 to be exact. And it reads,
Yeah, 10 years
hi.
ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. It reads, hi, I'm school. I make you work 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. Don't get too excited about the weekend because I might just throw in some homework while I'm at it. I take up most of your childhood, and sometimes I'll give you pointless lessons to learn about things you'll never need in your life. Also, I'm going to give you crappy teachers who hate you because I'm too school for cool. I think you meant.
No, I meant to school for cool. I said that a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, then. I found your post hilarious, and I also found it to be the truth, to be fair. Like,
Yeah, well, Aaliyah from 10 years ago has been a genius, still a genius, always will remain a genius.
so yes, let's talk about school and how the educational system, one, needs a reboot, needs
Yeah,
a.
it's funny that if I went to Aaliyah 10 years ago and told her that, you are one day going to be a teacher and you're going to love your job, you're going to love what you do, you're going to love your kids so much, but you're going to be so run down. You
Mm,
think that as a student it's bad. Wait until you become a teacher. Wait until it's flipped.
yeah.
And when you understand how hard it is for
Mhm.
teachers, when you understand how heartbreaking it is, and just the amount of responsibility that teachers, nursery nurses, day workers, you know, carry and shoulder, it's absolutely insane. It's like no other job I've had before. It's draining to the point where you never switch off. It's
Mhm.
not an office job where you go, people say that teachers have the most amazing life, because they don't work in the summers and they don't work during the holidays and they have half days. And it's, teachers go home. They mark, they have to do marking. They have to set out papers. And they're constantly thinking about their students. Obviously, I'm not talking about the teachers that actually just don't give a shit and are there for paychecks, because I've come across those as well. And
Mhm.
they shouldn't be teachers. They shouldn't be in the system, because there's so many other things that you can do for a paycheck that
Mhm.
doesn't require you to be responsible for other human beings. And honestly, personally, especially when children are spending so much time at school or at nurseries, like the nurseries that I was working at, because parents have to work full-time jobs to be able to provide for them, which is another issue in itself. You literally take on the role of a parent, because the child is coming to you from morning until evening, because my shifts were literally from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. And this child is dropped over to you. They wake up, sometimes don't even have breakfast,
Sometimes
right?
breakfast at school.
Mm-hmm. And you're giving them breakfast. You know what they like. You know what they don't like. You know what they eat. You know how fussy they are. You know what they're struggling with. You know which area they're struggling with. You know their favorite colors, their best friends, their favorite shows, their favorite songs, you
Mhm.
know? And you're literally like a second parent. And it's tough, because it's when you're parenting one child or a few children of your own, and when you're parenting a lot of different children, and you're teaching them and you're feeding them, and you're their therapist and you're their parents therapist, because the parents come to you with their issues.
Mhm.
And also, if parents have an issue with something that has happened at school or at home, you're their sounding board, but they also come and start bullying you. So you're all these different things. and so many different important roles, you're not paid anywhere near enough.
Definitely.
And after all of that,
Yeah.
the education that you're giving to these children is nowhere near enough what they need, but you have to do it because it's part of your job, and that's what governments and school boards expect you to do.
Yeah, I think it's time to shift our perspective on how we teach our children. One, we are so fixated on tending to a child's mind. I mean, it's so great that you've had that experience from a teacher's perspective. Also, just looking at it from a child's perspective, where we're just hounding them with knowledge and these expectations of memorization of for these multiple subjects that they have to do, and if they don't do, they haven't met a specific standard, and it's just we tend so much to the mind that we've forgotten the service to our body and forgotten our service to the soul, and it's nowhere in our curriculum, in our educational curriculum. For example, with regards to the body, when I was in high school, I had sports maybe once a week for like an hour, and at most twice a week, and that was it. I was not moving my body. I was just expected, to go from one classroom to the other. You're boxed in, and learning these facts, well, so-called facts, and having to
That
memorize.
changed over the years. So by the time your children are in school, so many of them have changed. You're just like, what is real?
But also just like this robotic system every single day, and then you're having to be the same as everyone else, right? So the whole concept, the whole educational system, it needs a reboot. You need to, one, understand that no child is the same. We all have creative souls. We all are here to, expand, to grow, to experience our creativity and find our talents. And the system is not conducive to that. We're literally just robots constantly. Matthew McConaughey said it really well. It's like a knowledge factory. Like it's just a knowledge factory. But hey, what about our bodies? What about, connecting to our bodies? What about connecting to our souls? What
But
about
a knowledge factory with what kind of knowledge? Because you leave school and do you know how to pay taxes? Do you know how to change a tire?
how
Do
to make
you know,
money? Do you know how
like
to endure
just
stress?
really simple stuff, the simplest of stuff to just basic survival stuff you don't know. So you've spent your entire life in school, as he says, a knowledge factory, but what kind of knowledge?
Yeah, I literally, you don't know how to cope with stress. You don't know how to cope with heartbreak. You don't know how to cope with failure. You don't know how to make money. You don't know how to be an entrepreneur. You don't know how to, start tending to your creativity, start tending to your talents. It's so funny though. We've just written a book and we're writing our next book now. And I would have never thought that I was a writer. But can you imagine if the school system was actually catered to me and my talents and my creativity? I would have been writing when I was 10 years old, as
Can I
opposed
just say a shout out to my English teacher from high school? I don't want to cry.
I was
Shout out to my English teacher from high school who believed in me, and that one time where I did so well in an English exam that she came in the middle of an assembly, Mrs. Evans, and gave me a lollipop and a hug and told me that she's proud of me. And that stuck with me. And she is one of the reasons why I'm a writer today. Just putting it out there. Thank you, Mrs. Evans. And I'm not crying.
honestly, with regards to like my English teachers as well, right? I had some really, really great English teachers. I had like Miss Dorfling, Miss Manson, Miss Shaw, and who all really exposed me to like English literature, exploring that creative side. Except when you finished your class and finished your semester, that's it. You've either hit the mark or you're not. You're either above 50% or you're not. You're a failure or you've passed, right? And then maybe, for the select few that hit the 80 plus or the 90 plus, you're okay, there's a little star that's put on your head. But that's it. Like, you're not tending to your talent, your creativity, to who you really are, like the expression of self, because it's so systematic, so robotic. You either have passed or you haven't, right? So it's time to start reevaluating our educational system and start understanding that, hey, no, we're not supposed to just get all of our children in line learning the same thing, but every single soul has talent, creativity, is intelligent, you know? It's not, it should not be
I
catered.
think from scratch, from nursery, from pre-nursery,
Mhm.
the because I studied the British education system that they use, EYFS, earliest foundation stage, which is a lot better than it used to be. So it is going in that area, but it's still way too
No.
there. It's still way too involved in focusing on what children should be and what our expectations of children are. But from pre-nursery until university, the way schools are set out is not, maybe the intention was for the benefit of a child,
Mhm.
but with my personal experience, primary school, secondary school, university, all of these experiences, apart from a few things here and there, did not help me where it should have helped me. Does not help children where it should help them, right? And then going into working in with younger children and early years, knowing that we do not help the children and get them to a point where they need to be. But the thing is that it's so simple, because what we really need to move to is child-led learning. We need to let children out. We need to let them play more. We need to let them explore more. We need to give them choices from a young age,
We
you
also
know,
need to have them laugh and feel joy and
and
experience
have
bliss.
fun, you know.
Have fun, exactly. Like, honestly, the way the criteria of, you know, assessing a child is how much did they laugh today? You know, how much did they experience joy? Like at a very young age, it's literally it's just that. How much fun did they have at school today? You know, what did they experience? You know, what did they do? How much fun did they have outside, right? Did they connect to nature? Did they connect to their bodies, you know? As opposed to just this literal memorization factory that does not cater to the soul or the body.